The match 3 puzzle genre is one of disparity, the disparity between that of its commercial popularity and its general critical consensus. It may be the most popular and prolific video game genre of all time, but most gamers would probably consider Candy Crush or Bejeweled to be the equivalent of gaming junk food. A quick glance at the shovelware that makes its way on Steam every single day is all it takes to conclude that there may in fact be a match 3 puzzle game for every man, woman, and child in North America. Perhaps more. And yet, despite this disparity, there are some match 3 puzzle games that I would consider to be my favorite games in any genre. The original Puzzle Quest is without question one of the best games I've ever played. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes is probably my favorite game on the DS. More recently, I've been loving the Victorian steampunk mech combat of Ironcast on the Switch. Unfortunately, these quality match 3 games seem to be few and far between. But thanks to Kickstarter and Tricket Studios, we were given the gift of innovative hybrid gameplay with Battle Chef Brigade. And after over 30 hours of gameplay across both the Steam and Switch versions, I can confidently say that I left my heart in Victusia. Battle Chef is one of those games that I was instantly sold on based merely upon its premise. Iron Chef style cooking battles with monster hunting to fill the pantry of available ingredients. And the cooking itself consists of match 3 style puzzle gameplay. This is truly an intoxicating mix of planning and preparation that will challenge both your action platforming and match puzzle efficiency. The main campaign features 6 chapters. Each chapter consists of a few chef battles along with other optional puzzles and combat practice interspersed between story segments. 4 of these chapters are played as Mina, a young girl trying to prove herself in order to join the prestigious Brigade of Battle Chefs. The other 2 chapters feature Thrash, another chef vying to be in the Brigade. He resembles a cross between an Urukai and Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. The timed puzzles in the practice kitchens are good fun in practice, but the real fun of the game comes from the full-blown chef battles. As either Mina or Thrash, depending on the chapter, you choose which of the other chefs to challenge in a 1v1 cook-off. The developers have done a fine job in making these chef battles feel like Iron Chef, Top Chef, or Chopped. Each battle is bookended by entertaining banter from a very well-voiced host, who introduces both the chefs and judges as well as the theme ingredient.
To think monumental changes may be brought about by such an unassuming beast. The inspiration? Squickle!
The strategies of each chef battle are multifaceted. Firstly, one must take into account the theme ingredient, the number of judges, and their flavor preferences. Then, within the time limit, you venture out into one of 3 backyard areas to action platform your way to the right ingredients, then incorporating them in match 3 cooking to win the judges over and most importantly, beat the opponent's score. It's a truly refreshing admixture that's probably unlike anything you've played before. The game is very easy to learn but has a deceptively high skill ceiling. Many of the battles involve cooking 2 or 3 dishes. A practiced knowledge of the particular monsters in each backyard, as well as the flavor gems that their ingredients provide, are both required in order to effectively plan these dishes. But it's the match 3 cooking specifically that is a true test of skill. The puzzles can vary wildly depending on the cooking equipment used and the ingredients acquired. Battle Chef is unique in its match 3 execution, however. Rather than having a preset puzzle to solve, the gameplay is more akin to creating puzzles, and the solving of the puzzle is simply arranging the flavor gems with a certain goal in mind. One of the judges might want a spicy dish, and so lots of tier 3 fire gems are required, the more the better. The other judge, however, might want a dish of both earth and water. In that case, the 2 flavors must be balanced and have the same number of high tier taste gems. Simply adding more will not appease the judge in this case. Whenever a judge asks for more than one flavor in a dish, the highest tier taste gems must always be balanced in number. Failing to appease the judges, or the theme ingredient, will result in the deduction of points from the dish, while appeasing them will gain points. The more difficult chef battles, featuring 3 dishes, are a frantic scramble to ensure your dishes are good enough to edge out the opponent. Of course, the game is not perfect. It would be nice to be able to play through the campaign battles without having to click through all the story bits, and there are a lot of story bits. The game has you itching to hone your skills in the kitchen against another chef, but the only thing getting between you and indulging your lust for competitive cooking are the copious amounts of dialogue bubbles. While the story itself isn't terrible, it's rather derivative and bland. The writing is good though, it features some legitimately funny moments, and it's supported by above average voice acting. The art is supposedly all hand-drawn and is clearly in the style of anime, which may turn some people off. The main campaign clocks in at around 10 to 12 hours for the normal difficulty mode, though mileage will vary, especially with the hard mode. I was unsatisfied by the end of it, unfortunately, but only because it was so compelling. I needed more Battle Chef. So I was glad to see that there was a daily cook-off mode featuring a new chef battle every day, and I found myself constantly returning to tackle the high scores. In my experience, the competition is much fiercer on the PC version compared to the chefs on the Switch. There is some semblance of meta progression. Daily cook-offs feature a very shallow leveling system which merely awards XP after each daily cook-off as you progress your way through each rank, which are represented by bronze, silver, and gold cutlery. The game would do well to provide another avenue of replayability, however. Again, being able to play through the campaign without sitting through the story would be a welcome addition. Now, the action platforming is arguably the weaker half of the game compared to the Match 3 gameplay. Mechanically speaking, it's decent, but suffers from the fact that we are spoiled by so many side-scrolling action games that have exceptional combat mechanics. There is some depth to the combat system though, as chaining together the right moves and juggling the monsters in the air can lead to time-efficient kills. My biggest gripe is that jumping to a higher platform can feel a little ambiguous. Confident jumps result in unexpected falls, leading to the loss of precious time. While this is a fantastic game, there are some noticeable gaps in its design, and I think this can be chalked up to the fact that the Battle Chef Kickstarter fund did not initially reach all of its stretch goals. For instance, based on the Kickstarter page, you can clearly tell that they planned for more additional characters besides Mina and Thrash. Having more characters to choose from would really spice up the daily cook-offs, so we're fortunate that they recently reached their $92,000 stretch goal, which will introduce Ziggy as a playable character sometime in the near future. Which means that the Battle Chef story isn't quite over yet, it seems. Trinket Studios has also confirmed on Twitter that they've got more updates cooking in the oven. Match 3 games seem to be one of three things these days: mobile game time wasters, Puzzle Quest spin-offs, or abysmal shovelware. In the face of such blandness, Battle Chef Brigade dares to spice things up, and yet despite its flaws, it's undoubtedly one of the best games you've never played and one of the most innovative in recent memory. With Match 3, action platforming, and cooking elements, Trinket Studios have whipped up a dish truly worthy of a Michelin star. Thanks for watching. And if you like what we do here, please consider supporting the show at patreon.com/losereviews.